Guys, the Super Bowl halftime show. Now, I am not a sports girl. One thing about me, I don't know sports ball. I know that there is a touchdown, there is an end zone, there are men touching all up on each other, and that's it. That's all I got. That's all I know about this kind of sports zone. And I watched that halftime show on YouTube. And I've got so many thoughts because that was a political statement. It was a very loud, very clear political statement. And there were levels of this that I think we need to discuss. So first, the basics, for those of you who didn't know. The Super Bowl just happened this past weekend, and the halftime show starred Kendrick Lamar and featured SZA. A lot went down in there. And before we even talk about the performance, because I think in my mind, there are four different characters within that performance that need to be further analyzed. And we're going to do that. But before we do that, we need to share some of the backstory. Shayna, what backstory? I thought you don't know sports ball. I don't know sports ball. Calm down. And because I don't know sports ball, I had to do some digging because I'm like, I feel like there's a lot happening here. What is happening here? First, there's the Kansas City Chiefs. What do I know about the Kansas City Chiefs? One, very problematic name. That needs to be changed. Two, Kansas City, I'm going to put the little picture right up here or wherever. Kansas is a sea of lava. And at best, Kansas City is a stone, a gray stone in a sea of lava. What are you looking at right now? That is that's the way that the 2024 elections went. So yeah, that's their home state. But then even outside of that, I don't really follow white lady drama, but I know that, what's her name? Taylor Swift is dating a guy from the Chiefs who, Travis Kelce, I think that's his name. And there's been some, not just reports, he's been weirdly cozy with Trump, like super excited that he's coming to see the sports ball game. And it's like, ooh, well, he's so powerful. And, who wouldn't want the powerful big man, big president to see you throw the sports ball and touch up on the man? And Taylor Swift is very smoothly transitioning into her center-leaning conservative white woman era because of the booga that she's associating with, right? So that's all I know about them. But then you go over to the other side and you got Philly. You got Philly. And I think it's the Philly Eagles. I know it's the Philly Birds. I know it's a bird. I'm pretty sure that it's the Eagles. So you got Philly. Philly, an incredibly diverse city, and a vehemently blue siren in the sea of red that is Pennsylvania. Picture here. Philly has 66 wards, I want to say, like around 66, somewhere between 65 and 60, 70. I don't know. We're going to say 66. I'm pretty sure it's 66. I know that 5 of those wards voted for Trump. All of the other ones did not voted for Harris, right? Like they voted for Harris. So that's basically the two sides of this coin that are battling it out on their field with their little tidies. Oh, before I dive any deeper, hi, my name is Shayna. I'm a journalist. I talk a lot about decentering men and child-free living on here. If any of that sounds like a vibe, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want any of the good stuff, go to my Patreon. There's a lot that I can't say on here. Okay, first character that I want to talk about is Samuel Jackson, aka Uncle Sam. Not Samuel Jackson, but it is giving Uncle Tom. Let's discuss. One, perfect casting. Perfect casting for a number of reasons. So this character is the happy to be here Negro who just wants to be here. He's like, oh my God, I got invited. Oh, I love you guys. But he's saying that to a sea of monsters who are actively working and voting and reacting against his own interest, his life, the safety of those that are similar to him, if not him himself, right? So the blinders are on. He's ready to perform. The whole character is giving Samuel Jackson's version of modern day vaudeville, which was such a smart character choice. From the dress all the way to the mannerisms, to the way that he was speaking, it was giving vaudeville. And it's just that blinded, ignorant lover of America, right? It is giving the heart of what Blacks for Trump is. And what I didn't know, but this creator talks about how Samuel Jackson has had such a long, complicated, fascinating civil rights history within the United States, so much so that he and Martin Luther King Sr. had a complicated history. And Samuel Jackson was on the right side of things. Next, we got Serena Williams. Why is she so important for the 45 seconds, the half a blink of an eye that she was there? I'm not even gonna say 45 seconds. Literally, you sneezed, you missed her. Carefree Black woman crip walking in front of millions. Why her? One, she briefly dated Drake, and Drake never forgot about it. It's giving that he tosses and turns and screams into a teddy bear about her, because why would you just randomly include her husband in a song calling him a groupie? Like, why would you do that after years of not being together? She's happily married with a child. Leave people alone. But why is she so important? And I really, especially on this page, really want us to take a moment to focus on her. Unbothered Black woman. Black girl joy, Black girl magic. She's not here. Like, there's a whole political statement happening around her. There are people moving. There are things happening. She's just here to dance. I love that. I think that we need to be embodying more of that. Next, we have Kendrick, obviously. No, he's not the last entity that we need to focus on, but he's the second to last. He's Kendrick. He's precious. And Black boy joy. Black boy joy being used for good. So he is actively joking about this lawsuit throughout this entire performance because Drake threatened him with a lawsuit, and right? So, but what really got me was when he let the music cut around when it's like trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor, the A minor cut, and all you heard was the audience screaming A minor. Thousands and thousands of people in their homes were definitely screaming that. The way that resonated spiritually, to me, that felt like the biggest call out to people like the alleged Drake when, well, you know what I mean. I'm trying to keep myself safe here. We see you. We all see you. We see you so much so that we don't even need the noise in the background to try and hype up. Oh, well, maybe it was that. No. We, word for word, phrase, bar for bar, see you. And then the wearing the lowercase a on top of it. There was a creator whose name is Dose Sloan, and she made a post talking about how she knew that Kendrick was here to step on throats and slit some, I don't know what I'm allowed to say on here anymore, but she knew that he was here for violence when he came out wearing those flared jeans, because she said that is one of the key pieces of the mean girl uniform when you're in middle school, and ain't nobody meaner than a 12-year-old girl. And I was like, ooh, damn, that's right. And now the biggest piece of this for me was the ensemble, especially the men. Why? So when you first get introduced to the ensemble, they're all jumping out the car, right? And they're all wearing red or white or blue. And that was intentional. And there was a lot of people online that I was seeing, oh my goodness, this is so pro-America. I didn't get any pro-America. He's from West Coast. That's giving gang culture. But here's some of the kickers, right? So it's gang culture. Colors don't mix, but they're all coming out of the same car. They're all kind of separating. They're all kind of moving in different ways, but eventually they move in unison. They move together. They organize, they strategize, and then they don't attack each other or the women. They have a common goal. Now, especially in the beginning of this, and we've talked about this on this page, and you've probably seen this on other pages too, potentially, but a lot of men when it comes to leadership. They live in this world of hierarchy and they try to implement that hierarchy on the rest of the world, but it's not the natural order of things. That's, oh, well, I look up to this person who looks up to, it's going back to the whole like Travis Kelce being like, oh, Trump's the biggest, strongest, like, well, you know, he's coming. So I just really excited. This idea of I need to have somebody to look up to so that way I can perform at my best. So that way, ideally, they can see me and I can get the validation from that person who gets the validation from whatever booga they're looking up to, right? Not to, you take this idea of male hierarchy that grows into patriarchy. And Kendrick takes all this chaos that's happening, and he's like, okay, follow me. We're going to organize around me, in the very least as it relates to choreography. And then images start to get formed. And then order starts to happen. And then art starts being made. And I really want to take a moment to focus on the squabble up section. Because squabble up squabble up, when I heard it this time, within this context, it's not about squabbling up against each other. It's about squabbling up against the powers that be. Be prepared to fight against the powers that be. And as the women are walking down the stage and the men are walking up the stage, I really want y'all to pay attention to. Watch the video again if you want to. But the women are walking in the direction of the men, fists up, squabbling up. The men are walking up towards the women, bowing down. Do I think this was intentional? I don't know. Do I think that it's poetry and it's correct? Yes. Men need to prove how safe they are. For us, as people, as individuals, as a collective, and for the cause of collective liberation, before we can lower our fists. Period, point blank. And then what is the icing on the cake? Gaza, Sudan. Planned or unplanned, this was perfect. Please stay focused, stay vigilant, because not just this, but what is currently happening right now in the United States, it is bigger than all of us. It is so much bigger than what is happening north of Mexico and south of Canada. Stay focused out there and stay safe.